Well, Hisham Al-Omeisy is a political analyst in Yemen. He joins me now from Sanaa. Thank you very much for your time. So as the two sides meet in Geneva then, as we've just been hearing, is the ceasefire holding on the ground?
Unfortunately, it isn't holding. The ceasefire has been breached within an hour from commencing. On-ground battles have continued. Fighter jets have been in the capital's sky all night yesterday, in addition to drones. There have been a couple of airstrikes in Sanaa and one in Taiz al-Makha. So the ceasefire isn't holding, but the peace talks are going forward regardless.
Has it de-escalated enough to give breathing room, do you think, for these talks to take place in Geneva?
Not really. They're not going in parallel. They're totally disconnected. The talks are going on between the warring factions in Geneva, and the ceasefire and the fighting on the ground is a whole different matter. There are a lot of people who are on the ground fighting now who are not represented in the talks in Geneva. They don't have to do anything with it. In fact, they actually rejected those talks.
Similar talks collapsed earlier this year in June. What are the pressures bringing the sides together in Geneva now?
The international community, basically. There's a lot of pressure by the international community for them to meet up. There's a lot of pressure on the UN to do something. They need to keep up appearances, that there is a dialogue going on, that there's a political solution in the horizon. That is why a lot of people now are meeting in Switzerland, despite the fact that the ceasefire of 7 days is not going to do much on the ground. You're talking about 82% of the population in need of humanitarian aid. A 7 days window is not enough for any humanitarian aid to feed the local demand. It certainly is not enough for some sort of a negotiation or a deal to transform the current conflict. Today they agreed to exchange prisoners, but here's the fact. It's not an all-out exchange of prisoners. The exchange of prisoners is only happening in one single area in the south, in one single camp. There are multiple camps across the country. There are thousands of prisoners. There's only a first instance of 268 prisoners, and they're exchanged in one single area called Diafa.
Okay, Hisham Al-Omeisy, thank you very much for your time.